Alright, well welcome back everyone to Castlevania Ravenloft RPG. Last we left our adventurers, they were talking to a witch behind a closed door. Mr. Jeeves and Jack had found a mirror that seemed magical, but they couldn't discern its properties, and Elias was decoding the Tomb of Strahd. So Jeeves, you have now joined Alexandra at the door, talking to the witch.
If you'll allow us to live, madam, all I ask is that you spare the toymaker Blinsky. He's done nothing to deserve whatever your plans are for this town.
It's not my wrath you'll have to worry about in this village.
Did you not say earlier that you were set out to destroy this place?
This place will destroy itself.
Should we be warning Blinsky to get out of town, then?
You may do what you wish, but if you wish to purify the site, meet me down the Svalich Road. I'll be outside town waiting for you.
The one infested with wolves?
Yes, the one infested with wolves.
May we have our map back, please?
Your map will be in here, waiting for you when the Baron retrieves it.
Should we be on our way, then, gentlemen?
I'm not there, but I'm probably about through finishing the tome.
Yeah, Brent, you finished if you want to go back from the study, and you're just outside the door and around the corner from him.
What about you, madam? They intend on burning you alive. How do you intend on getting out of this?
You should tell the Baron that you hear that his guest has departed.
Jeeves, Elias, Jack. I think we should be on our way.
Are we taking the so-called witch with us? What did she say?
She's leaving, and so should we.
All right, it's me.
Let's head back downstairs then, and get out of here.
Yeah, well, when you get back downstairs, you'll see that Baron Vargas Volakovich is there to greet you and offer anything that you may need. It's good that you've come back to the festival.
Baron, if you'd be so kind as to point me in the direction of the nearest stonemason. I still have unfinished business after all.
Ah, yes. Well, you remember the old coffin maker's shop. There's right next door.
Would any of you like to accompany me?
Sure. Elias isn't sure if Alex is using this as a distraction to just kind of move away from the issue that we're not staying for the what you call it, the festival.
Well, they'll be in town for the festival, I'm assuming. Unless
Okay.
we're intent on leaving immediately.
Mm,
By the way, Baron, your guest upstairs told us to tell you that she was leaving.
Leaving? She's trapped quite well in that room, I believe. All will be well.
She's a witch, sir, and a powerful one at that. I wouldn't be so certain.
Well then, shall we go check on her together, in case she has any tricks up her sleeves? I can summon my guards if you're not comfortable in escorting me.
If it's all the same, sir, I do need to get my business finished.
And the Baron looks disappointed that his friends won't escort him back upstairs. And he turns to Jack and says, "Jack, would you mind making sure I'm safe?" And Jack looks to everybody else and waits for your response before he says anything.
Elias, if it would suit you to stay, you're welcome to stay. I don't need an escort to go get a headstone made.
Yes, very well. That will do just fine. All right, Burgomaster. We'll go upstairs and then check on the witch.
Thank you, Elias.
Apologies, Baron.
And what about you, Mr. Jeeves? Mark? Poke, poke. Mark, you there?
His ring went off, but no sound came out.
He says, "I can hear you in chat."
We can't hear you.
So we get April, but we lose Mark, huh? Is that how it works?
Okay, well, in chat, just tell us, who are you going with? Okay, so Alexandra and Mr. Jeeves depart. Elias and Jack escort Baron Volakovich back upstairs. And when you get to the door, he says, "Old hag, are you ready to burn?" And he kind of puts his ear closer to the door. A gleeful smile on his face. But he doesn't hear anything.
You hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir. And Elias will say to the Baron, not to disappoint you, sir, and I don't want you to panic, at least not yet, but I think the witch may have wanted to be captured.
Well, she should be shackled up quite nicely. Do you boys need a moment to prepare any spells that we may need after I open this door?
Nope.
Even if I had wanted to, sir, I don't have any spells I can prepare, so...
Very well. And he walks past you all to his study, and then just a moment later he comes back with a very large dog. This mastiff is huge. When it gets close to Jack and Elias, it kind of remembers the encounter where it was bested before and stays close to its master. And then you see him produce a key. He unlocks the door As he pushes it open, in the dark room, is very dimly lit by a candle, you see a couple of things. First of all, empty shackles, no witch in sight. There appears to be the map on the floor, rolled out, and on top of it, a book. And on top of the book, a little familiar face that Jack may remember. I suppose everyone may remember it. Not the face of Lady Fiona, of course, but Majesto, her little imp, is there, on top of the book, and it hisses.
Huh.
Interesting. Perhaps we shouldn't let that escape.
Here, I thought... Wait a minute. Wasn't Jeeves going with Alexandra?
Yeah, you're not there, Jeeves.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But Jack and Elias, they can, what would you like to do with this imp?
Remind me of what happened the last time we encountered this thing. Did it phase out of existence? Is that what happened to it?
Jack cast a banishment spell on it, which banished it from this plane of existence for a short time. It appears that time has been over.
I see. Right, but it's hissing at us. It's not presently attacking us, correct?
No, it looks like it may be defending the book and the map.
I see. Can we tell anything else about the book besides it just being a book?
It looks very old. It may be bound in leather.
Do we think it might be the witches, or it looks like something the Baron would have?
You can't really tell.
Okay.
It looks like a book. I don't know. You get the just at a first glance,
Yeah.
It might be something that would look like it'd belong more to a witch than the Baron.
Right. Okay, that's what I was thinking. So Elias starts taking steps forward, and he tells the Baron to remain behind him.
Okay, you approach, and the Mephit hisses at you even more. It looks like it may become aggressive.
Okay.
Jack says to you, loud enough for the Baron to hear, I remember this little guy. I can banish him again if you'd like.
Logan's on his way, by the way.
Cool.
Would it be better to be rid of the thing? And as Elias says that, he also says to the Baron that this does not surprise me, sir. I expected the witch to escape. She had a higher degree of power than you might have imagined, and she wanted to be here to set some kind of calamity upon the town.
This cannot bear good fortunes for us today. Everyone was looking forward to a good witch burning. And Jack said, yeah, she reminds us of the Pie Lady who kind of slipped out of existence and stepped into a different plane when we had defeated her. I think it's probably something similar that she did to escape.
Yes, indeed. So, and after he gets close enough, he'll start to reach for the map and the book without moving to attack the imp.
Okay, as soon as you do, the imp begins to attack.
Okay. Initiative?
Yes.
All right. Two.
Back at it again there, Brent, huh?
Better than one.
Not by much.
Let me see here.
Twice as much.
I'm just looking over the imp's stuff here. Okay, and for Jack, did you want to control Jack, or is that going to be up to me?
Me?
Yeah. Or
Uh,
anyone, really. Does anyone want to play Jack?
I would put Logan to shame. No.
yeah.
He would be ashamed of me. I can't do that to him.
Yeah, you play.
I mean, I guess I know about as much as you would, Mike. So I can do that. That's fine.
Okay. Jack. Let's see. How do I think I can just kind of drag him over to you. Does that work?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Alright. Give him a good initiative roll. Alright. Yes, Jack will be going first.
Okay. And Jack is behind me or next to me, I assume.
Yeah, he's next to you.
Okay, so he's gonna try
Well,
to sneak.
actually, you entered the room, and he'll
Yeah.
be in the doorway behind you. So he can
Okay.
see what's going on.
Okay, so he will try to sneak attack the demon, little imp guy.
Let's see. It would be...
I see it on his sheet here.
Let's see. He would have to kind of squeeze past you into the room. But, yeah, that would happen. If you can get him in there, past you.
Yeah.
You can.
Well, I'm not. I'm not in the doorway anymore. I walk towards the shackles in the book and the map, so he could be behind me. All right, so we're gonna do that, but given the confined spaces and the situation as it is, the sneak attack we'll use is him tossing a dagger, so it won't be as much damage as it normally would.
Oh, if he's doing it ranged, I guess I can leave him out in the hallway. Didn't know you were throwing it.
Okay, so I don't have an icon to drag on top of this thing.
Oh, really?
Oh, there it is. I see it on the map now. Okay, I didn't see it in the combat tracker, but I see it on the map. What? I'm getting an error message when I try to move his hit dice. Hmm.
When you try to do what?
When I try to pick up the throwing hit dice, I get a screen that pops up that says script error, unable to create node. But I can. Well, it looks like the melee damage is the same, so I'll just use that one. I think it's gonna work. There we go.
Okay, that's a hit.
All right, cool.
All right. Yes. Jack flings a dagger very swiftly into the small little body of this imp. And in reply, unless you wanted to do anything else, it will start its round.
No, that's it.
All right. Let me see what he's got here. It breathes fire at both of you in a cone. So make DC or make dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
That's a failure.
Wow.
Make one for Jack. Oh, that was for Jack.
That was Jack, yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
So Jack's going to take the full brunt of this, but I believe he will be able to use a reaction to cast Shield. Is that right? if that's something that he wants to do.
Yes, most likely. Is that on his? Yeah, here it is.
Does shield just increase his AC, or does it prevent damage?
AC 5 to self. So it just increases his AC to 20.
Yeah, that's not going to help in this case, so he may want to save that.
Okay.
So don't do that.
Alright.
Alright, so Elias, you take half damage of whatever this is going to be. Alright. Fire scorches you, but not badly. For Jack, he's not so lucky. Jack takes 5 points of damage, but even as the flames rip into Jack and you see his flesh sear, you see it begin to stitch itself back together quite swiftly. Alright. Then, after that, it will be Elias's turn.
Even magic doesn't hurt you, Jack. Elias is surprised and kind of exclaims.
Oh, actually, yeah, it was technically magic, huh? I don't know, fire breath, is that magic or not?
Well, fire or magic, I think, would still hurt a were beast, wouldn't it?
Not fire.
Huh. Well, I mean, Elias wouldn't really... He would be surprised either way, if it was just regular fire or magic.
Yeah, I don't think it's really actually a magic. So, yeah, he'll heal up from it.
Alright. So, even though the damage was lower on Elias, he's still pretty shaken and distraught from the fire breath because he is how he is. And because of that, he is going to shakily swing his new axe towards the little imp guy with disadvantage.
Have you had time to attune to that axe?
I would think so, because it takes 4 hours to do the tune home. So.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yes, you can. I think attunement you normally have to like focus on it for a while, but I'm gonna say within that time that you're able to do that as well.
Oh, okay. Well, if not, I can still wait. That's cool.
Nah, it's fine.
Alright. Because it's not going to do any extra damage to it anyway.
It's a tree creature. No.
A tree imp.
It's a hit.
Alright.
Heavy damage. Yes, the axe sends the thing smacking back to the back wall before it rolls back into its place. And it will be Jack's turn next, unless you had anything else you wanted to do.
No, I do not, and I think I forgot to do disadvantage on that, but that, whatever. It's fine. Okay, so Jack... Jack will reach forward and reacquire the dagger in his hand, and as he does so, try to slash back at the imp.
That's a hit.
Okay.
5 damage. You've cut off one of its little wings. And
Okay.
if Jack's done, it'll be Majesto's turn now. Let's see. He's going to just viciously claw at Jack, since Jack just wounded him so. He misses with the first. I accidentally clicked the wrong button. The The second one also misses. It's an automatic miss. Rolled a 1. You see that it's injured and it's clawing at Jack in such a way that it's distracted and it's just blind fury to get at his eyes. And then it opens it up for you to attack him right now with an attack of opportunity.
No gun.
Jack, Elias, or both?
Just you.
Okay. Alright. So, once again, I'll try to use the axe to hit the little guy. Which is quite a bit more challenging because it's an axe on a tiny little imp guy.
It's a miss.
Yep.
Alright. You get another chance, though. So now it's your proper turn.
Alright.
Oh shit, I think that they just found the fat kid. It's hard for me to try to keep up with what else is going on, but...
Yeah, I haven't been able to read what they're doing yet.
Yeah, don't mind us. We're just having fun.
Same again.
Yes. That is the same roll. Dropped an 8, and then you dropped a 12. Alright, well it's up to Jack then. Looks like this thing is on its last
Is
legs,
it?
though. Oh, hey, do we have Jack with us now?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, hey, you can kill an imp if you want.
Yeah, you
Okay.
It's only got a few hit points left. This is the same imp that was around Lady Fiona's neck that you saw.
Fuck that imp. Necrotic touch.
Okay. We'll wait for you to get into Fantasy Grounds if you'd like.
Yeah, I've been controlling your character for a little while just for the fight, and you've just been, like, shooting daggers at it.
Yes, you've converted to Catholicism, just coincidentally. And I guess I might have to drag Jack's character back over to Logan's control.
I don't get the joke. Converted to Catholicism?
Right, he
Because
was
you've
under...
been your control.
Yeah.
Your character.
Who's Catholic?
Well, I don't know. I figured Elias would be Catholic.
Hell no.
I kind of thought Elias was Catholic.
No, that's the antithesis to his character, dude. He's a Protestant.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry.
Jeeves, leave the
Leave the
fat
background.
child alone.
All right. Let's see. Against their AC. Yes, that's a hit. All right. A bony hand comes from Jack to touch the little imp. It writhes in pain and horror as you see it curl up and die.
So the spectral hand wraps around it and crunches it.
Yes, you hear a crack like a breaking lobster shell. All right. It looks like it's safe now to grab at the book and the map that was left behind when the witch disappeared. And you hear Baron Vargas Volakovich said, "Very well done. I knew that I would be safe with you here."
Yes. So Elias will investigate this book and see what he can learn about it.
On the front cover now, upon closer inspection, it looks like a book of some kind of arcane spells.
So he passes it to Jack.
Excellent. Give me just a moment to glance through this here.
All right, Jack, you see that this is a book on summoning demons? A good Arcana roll. But, yes, you can see that it's actually kind of a shitty book on summoning demons. Very low-level ones. That's why you're so easily able to discern what it is. Interestingly enough, there is a note inside. It says Book Club. It has a list of names and monetary figures next to them.
Oh, good God.
And Vargas says, what is it, Jack?
It's got a list of your what I'm assuming is your of the Lady Watchers book club.
Let me see.
Pass him the book. It is a tome of demon summoning, but it's low end. Street magic, really. Okay, I've crapped better magic on a bad Sunday morning, but it is still a book for summoning demons.
Aha. Well then. This is very good. What a nice turn of events. You may keep the book if you wish. All I need is the list. And he pockets the list.
Certainly. Do you know the monetary figures after them? Is that a net worth or is it a bounty?
I know not, sir.
Well, actually, this should be fairly easy to find out. Hand me the list for just a moment and let me glance on it, please.
Roll a persuasion check. Huh. He starts reading down the names on this list, and you see him nod in recognition a couple of times, and then he hands it over to you.
Excellent. I think I've got paper and pencil. I will go ahead and transcribe the list.
Okay, yeah, sure, you can do that. Elias, you're there with him. Is there anything you wanted to do?
Elias will just pick up the map and check around the room for anything else of importance.
Yeah, you see that there's a disgusting bucket here left for refuge.
Yeah.
And manacles that are locked closed. And they're bolted to the wall. It actually looks quite secure for being part of someone's, spare-looking bedroom or closet in this house.
Right, yes, I believe she phased out of playing again. As her sister did.
Alright, so Jack, you have scrawled the names and the gold next to them onto a copy.
Give him the original back.
Alright.
Okay, can someone bullet point me what I missed?
Sure. Okay, so aside from some technical difficulties that were no fun, you and Jeeves inspected the mirror. You discovered that it was magic, but you don't have the proper spells to identify the properties of that magic. The best that you could get out of it was that it's some sort of conjuration magic, which leaves an aura that you can sense. And then you went to inspect the door that the witch was behind. Alexandra was questioning her. She said that this town would be, I don't know. Here, what did I say? I can't really summarize myself there.
The town would destroy itself. She didn't need to lift a finger.
That's the impression she gave, and that you guys.
She was going to meet them on Old Spellich Road.
Yes, and she also said that you should tell the Baron that his guest is departing. He asked for you to escort him upstairs so they could check on the witch and feel safe and secure in your presence. At that point, Mr. Jeeves and Alexandra went to go buy a tombstone for Ezek, but Elias and Jack had defeated the imp that you had last seen with Lady Fiona Watcher, and the only thing found in the room was a book with the note in it and the map that you guys had handed underneath the door that the witch took, that showed that you proved that you had spoke to another witch who had said this was a site that you could purify. And at that point, the witch's demeanor turned from hostile to at least indifferent.
And then there was an imp, and we killed it.
Yes. Yeah, you guys came back, and when you opened the door, she wasn't there. The imp was, along with the book and the map. And Baron Vargas says, "Well, I knew all would be well. The Waker Sun is in the center of the square, ready for burning. Now I have a nice long list of names for witches. If you'll excuse me, gentlemen."
Baron?
Yes, Jack.
While I'm sure that you could find no end of people to serve as a witch, the ones on the list are a mistake. And I will explain to you why. Because this can essentially be a list of your enemies, right?
It is obviously a list of the people who wanted me dead.
Well then, let me ask you a question. Do you think they have friends and families, things put in place to go off after their death? I know you would. You're a fantastically wise man. At least one of these people must at least approximate your political savvy.
Jack, this is gold. I have the names of my enemies handed to me.
Exactly. You have confirmation that they are indeed your enemies. Watch them. It's great fun, especially when they don't know.
Jack, these people expect the celebration to continue.
Oh yeah, the celebration will continue.
Then a witch must be burned today.
Was that always part of the festivities, or was it just because the witch was here?
It's just because the witch was here, but now that the word is out, they expect to see that we have the means to protect ourselves. That we should not fear witches. Witches in Vallaki get the stake.
Find a body.
There are plenty of bodies on this list, Jack. They want my blood, and I will have theirs.
But right now, this is just a list of known affiliates to one of your former enemies. This is a list of people that you can watch, that you know where they're at. You cut the heads off a Hydra, and 2 more will grow in its place. It's actually a shame, because the Lady Watcher was, in fact, a witch. Actually, what happened to her body?
Well, she's been buried properly, of course.
Tell me, Elias, what do you think?
What do I think about what, Jack?
The Baron has promised these people a witch. His witch is gone. I think it would do better if he could find a way to present that the witch tried to escape and was felled by the guard, than drumming up a random person and saying they're a witch.
These people aren't random. All of these people are witches.
Are you supposing that the witch you're talking about would be the Lady Watcher?
Does he believe that they're witches, or is he just being political?
He thinks that this book was dropped from a witch that he had captured. It includes this book is obviously a witch's book, and it has a list of names in it of these people in this club. It's not hard for him to put 2 and 2 together to say that with the connection of you recognizing and calling out that was the familiar or demon that was related to Fiona Watcher, that the witch, Fiona Watcher, and all the people on this list are all connected. They were conspiring against him as far as he believes, And you know with his paranoia, he does and truly believe this. And with not allowing any evil to thrive within his community, you're absolutely sure that he wants to burn all of these people today. It would take nothing short of a miracle, you think, to convince him not to at least burn one of them.
Tell me, Baron, do any of these people have criminal records?
I would have to speak with a guard. A few of these people here I've noted. They are wealthy.
Then let me teach you how to do this like a noble.
I am a noble, and I don't need your lessons, Jack. You've been very
No, you
helpful.
don't need my lessons, but you've often needed my help. I'm offering it for free this time.
Why are you defending these people who would have me killed?
Because we know that one of them wanted you killed. There are people Elias wants dead that I have no interest in killing, and vice versa.
These people deal in demons.
One did. She's dead now. Well, she's dead now. Look, you want a witch, pick the worst one on them and make her a witch. But only one. Otherwise, you're going to cause paranoia in your people. They're going to worry about you. They're going to call you a tyrant.
And how am I to watch all of these others?
Hire people. There are men like me in this town. I would volunteer, but I can't stay. Yeah.
Well, we actually just kind of wiped out his gold coffers, so there's that too.
Shut up.
Well, might you recommend anyone that could begin doing the things that you do for me, Jack?
Actually, yes. I've found a young man of great intellectual acumen.
Tell me more.
What do you want me to roll to hype up the gravedigger?
A persuasion, of course.
Also, do I actually think he's intelligent, or am I lying about that?
Oh, that's up to you.
I don't remember. It's been a little while.
He seemed very dedicated to his family, but not the brightest kid in the world.
That's okay. He can be taught.
Okay, well, you're very persuasive, so you've sold him on the idea of hiring a spy master for his own house.
His best skill is digging dirt and hitting people with a shovel. How intelligent can he be?
This is a good point. Well, regardless, he will take your suggestion to heart. And he says, very well, I will pick probably the most influential person on this list, have them burned at the Wicker Sun Festival today. You will all join me, of course, as my guests of honor.
I would request that you do speak to a guard and pick one that has a criminal background. That way, if somebody does start pointing fingers, you can say, this is only the tip of the iceberg of what I've found that they've done.
If I liked the one on fire that's the most influential, all of the others on the list may know that I know their names too.
And they will scurry back under a rock and do nothing.
I will
And
consult
then you will
with my
have
guards.
cockroaches and shadows again.
Yes, Jack, I will take your wisdom, only because you have been so helpful.
Thank you, Baron Vargas. It's easy to be helpful to a man such as himself.
Influential or not, if any of these people have not done any wrongs worthy of being burned at the stake, I would have you not burn them myself.
These people summon demons. They were out to kill me. You said that Lady Fiona Watcher had a force behind her that would perhaps lead to me being thrown out of power here, to be replaced as the mayor.
We do not know for a fact that all of these people were summoning demons. If they were, they couldn't be very powerful.
Or
Yes, Jack?
come with me. Excuse us for a moment, Baron.
Yes, well, excuse me as well. I must talk to my guards. I have a witch to burn today.
After he is well out of earshot, have you ever heard the word paranoia?
Yes, Jack, I know he's paranoid, but I don't want him to burn an innocent person either.
One thing at a time. I'm worried where the actual witch is up to.
Yeah, we should take care of that first. I really don't give a damn about his festival in general.
I don't care about his festival either, but we should make an appearance. It will actually help the morale of his people.
Yes, I could agree
And
with that.
if she's not actually a witch, we can probably engineer a rescue.
Sounds good.
Then let's be off and find our friends.
Yes, indeed. I imagine they've got a gravestone for Ezek by now.
Wait, we left Alexandra and Jeeves alone. How are we certain that half the silverware between here and where they've gone is not gone? We should hurry.
A good point. If she hasn't killed him.
Oh, right. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm having an off day. Let's go. My tongue sense is going off. We should fly, but not actually fly because we can't do that. So
Yes, you can.
We cannot fly.
You can fly.
Shut
You
up.
can fly.
He doesn't know that, only suspects.
Yes, Jack, let's be off.
All right. Let's get some music, and then everyone will meet up, I suppose, in the graveyard of the church.
No, they're heading to the shop first.
Okay. Do you want to catch us up on the conversation, the adventures that you and Jeeves had on the way to the shop?
Sure. They were heading to the shop when Alex turned to him and apologized for attacking with an axe. She didn't actually want to hurt him. She was just lost in the rage of battle. And when he shot her, she kind of lost her temper. He forgave her and tried to engage her in racing to the shop when they stumbled across the fat child who was throwing rocks at him at the stockade.
Excellent.
Alex didn't really want him to go back to jail or be thrown in more manacles or back in the stockade or hung or worse for murdering the fat child. So she tried to warn him, only to have him stop and slap the child hard enough to knock him on his ass.
Excellent. Okay.
Satisfied with that punishment, they continued on. They reached the stockyard. Alex paid for the headstone, and she also decided to stop by the shop to see if they had any potions of healing back in stock.
Let's see. I don't think that they have any magical items such as that here.
Bummer.
Yeah, they don't deal in magic. Magic's very rare. Unless you're
Okay.
a demon cult. Okay.
No thanks. Alright, they will head on to Blitzky's then.
Alright. Well, by the time that you are getting to Blinsky's, I think there's a good chance, from all that transpired, that Jack and Elias would be coming kind of in the same vicinity. Because that road, the road to Blinsky's is right next to the mansion.
Alex, meanwhile, is gripping a dagger behind her back as Jeeves walks ahead of her.
Okay, so Alexandra and Jeeves are about here, and you guys are coming out of the mansion just around here. Of course, Blinsky's shop's right here. So, perfect opportunity for everyone to meet back up and just coincidentally come across each other before going into Blinsky's.
Found him. It's dead now.
Yes, the Lady Watcher's imp that Jack had banished to another area apparently was with the witch in the Baron's house, and we've now killed it.
Yes, I banished him.
Well, when you guys walk into Blinsky's shop, you see that it's been mostly repaired. Most of his nice tools are gone. Toys, I meant. I'm sorry, but Jack just rolled a natural 20? What are you deceiving?
Yes, I banished it.
Oh, well, you kind of did. You banished it permanently this time.
This time. Before, it was Rictavio.
Oh, was
Was
it? Oh, yeah, it was, actually. I thought that Jack could cast that spell, but it certainly was Rictavio.
It was Rictavio, but nope, it was me.
Ah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Jack wouldn't have that high level of magic. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, well, you see Blitzky's face light up when everyone comes into his shop. Let me find a good old image of Blinsky, our friend. We haven't seen him in so long. Of course, there's no monkey on his shoulder anymore,
Yeah.
but the smile is still there.
Blinsky, good man. How have you been?
Things have been very weird, but it has worked out. I'm still alive.
Yeah, the shop is coming along nicely. How have you had any time to study those things we left with you?
Oh yes, Jack, here, look what I've crafted for you.
Oh, good. Here, Jack grabs it before anyone can see.
Oh, okay. You don't want to describe to everyone what you've had him make?
Not yet. That is for a poignant and touching moment later.
Okay, well, he turns
Does
around
it
and
involve potato?
he grabs something off of a low shelf, and you hear a click, click, click as he's winding something up, and then he puts it on the table, and this red clawed hand begins to claw its way down the table.
I see. So this is the Ezek hand toy then.
Yes.
Yes. I wouldn't suggest you name it that, but yes.
Alex reaches out and grabs it off the counter immediately. Glaring daggers at both Blinsky and Elias.
He blissfully looks back at you, happy that you snatched his toy. He thinks you're interested in the creeping claw.
Alex,
She is quite a fan.
I understand.
You understand nothing.
It's true.
I understand that this is important to you, but understand that it is also important to Blinsky, and it's his first new creation since the reopening of his shop.
It was not his.
That toy is his because he made it.
You had no right.
I think Alex would like the original hand back, Blinsky, if you would be so kind.
Yeah, seeing her demeanor turn so sharply, he looks very worried, and he scrambles off to the back and brings to you a slightly taxidermied hand.
Slightly taxidermied.
Yeah, it looks like he's preserved it so it won't rot.
That's nice. Oh, I see, Alex. He took care of it for you. As he says this, Elias looks moderately disgusted and weirded out.
All the same, I'll be taking it back where it belongs.
I did not mean to offend.
And she sets the toy back on the counter and takes the real one back.
Thank you, Alex.
Why is she so angry? That monster burned down my shop.
Hey, it's a long story. Call it possessiveness over her favorite kill. Actually, Jack would say call it a trophy. And you won't be overly wrong.
Yes, well, this is what else I've been working on. And he goes in the back, and then he comes out with a tray. It's got all sorts of little gears and mechanical pieces strewn about the tray. And he rolls out a little diagram that you had brought him a long time ago of a timepiece. He says, "This is very interesting. The more I look at it, the more I think it's very powerful. But It is beyond me. I would need to study a little bit more of my master's old works before I was able to complete this.
Well, we'll certainly see what we can find for you.
Well, my friends, is there anything else I can do?
You can get out of town. It's not going to be safe here.
Where should I go?
There's a tower. Describe Van Richtoven's tower.
Okay. You can give him basic instructions on how to get there, but it's not too terribly far away. Would you recommend that he takes the road that's more traveled, or the one that's, that you couldn't really get a cart down?
Take the path. Svalich Road is infested with wolves.
Jack gives him 10 gold. Use this to hire guards.
Okay, I will do this. You say it's on Lake Baratok. I will go there.
Tell him we sent you.
Who is it I'm seeing?
An older gentleman by the name of Rictavio.
Rictavio?
Yes, I suppose you have met him, haven't you?
Yes, he gave me Piccolo.
Ah, yes. Well, that's where he's staying right now. He may not expect the company, but he will be glad of it after he understands.
Very well, I will set out before... Well, I will go now if you wish.
Leave before the festival.
As quickly as you can. Please.
For your own safety.
Wait at least a week.
Okay.
Give him a thumbs up.
He gives you a very big, enthusiastic thumbs up and a smile back.
Yes. If you'll excuse us now, Blinsky, we have some business to attend to.
We should head to the Blue Water Inn and warn Danica and the boys.
That was my next thought.
We need to get Merrill and Error out of here, too.
Yes, I was just thinking that myself. And as they are exiting the shop, Elias asks them, "What are you all supposing is happening to the town? I didn't catch any wind of this."
I don't know, and I don't care.
Wholesale slaughter.
I just know I don't want to be anywhere near this place when it happens.
So I take it the witch said that the town would destroy itself, but I think she may have meant that in long-term issues. Is anything going to happen soon? I haven't caught any indication.
Roll an insight check, Elias.
She was up there with a demon summoning book. Chances are she just cursed the entire town.
Alright. Ooh, 20. Okay. Here, I'll send it to you in private chat. On Discord. Alright, so Blinsky is going to start packing up, and you guys are going to leave his shop, head on to the Blue Water Inn next.
Yep.
Yeah, well, when you came back to town, you had Davian in tow, and he had a wagon with some wine. So you are now town heroes, bringing wine back to Vallaki.
Bitch, please, we're already town heroes.
Yes, you're town heroes at least, 3 or 4 times over now?
Yeah.
And briefly town villains a few times too.
Yeah, I got a rough start here, to say the least. Put it lightly.
Danica, how long would it take you to pack everything up and go?
Oh, my dear, we don't plan on going anywhere.
You should.
Well, I'm afraid we can take care of ourselves.
I know that you can. But the eldest of the 3 witch sisters was just pissed off by the burgomaster. And she made indications that there was going to be a tiny little wholesale mass slaughter of everyone in town.
For your own safety, the safety of your family, and the children we left in your care, please.
Erwin says, "Look, my friends, there's no better place in Vallaki than this Blue Water Inn. If we left this place, God knows what may happen to the innocent people here. This is the place they turn to when things get rough."
Can you fortify it?
Absolutely.
Do so. Call in favors, bribe the guard. I will give you just about every last bit of gold I have. Fuck you. I will.
Well, while everyone watches Jack internally struggle with his generosity, Erwin says, "It's fine, but we've seen many things happen in Vallaki in our lives. We know how to take care of ourselves and others.
Your well-being is important to us, and we'd rather not see or know that you are hurt. That being said, if you need something, let me know."
This town may well tear itself apart just yet.
Not under my watch, it won't."
Fortify the inn. Make it a safe haven.
And he shows you that the windows can be shut and shuttered and locked, boarded up quite nicely already.
I know you already have capabilities to watch from a relatively safe distance. So tactically, yes, this might actually work. But promise me that if things get bad, you'll see the safety of your family and those under your care.
Well, you have nothing to worry about when it comes to us. And any patrons that seek shelter here will have a good, safe place.
Every time someone says that, people end up dead.
Jack, we've done all we can. We warned them.
Oh no, we've done all we can conveniently. There is significantly more that we can do.
I'm not abducting
them. I didn't say that necessarily. I may have implied it, but there is more that we can do. We could stay here personally and help them fortify it. We could do a lot of things, but...
I am not going to stay and watch the Baron burn people.
I think we may very well be able to come back and help fight if the actual fight does break out at the very least.
Then stay at the inn. I plan on being at the festival. I have my reasons.
I will not stand idly by and watch that man burn people alive.
Person. And if we're there and she doesn't deserve it, which is my next stop, trying to find out if she will, then we're going to try and engineer a rescue.
And get ourselves thrown back into the stocks.
By we, I mean I. I am relatively certain that whatever is going to happen is going to start at the festival grounds.
Then I will leave you to it, Jack. We were told to go and meet the witch.
It is well enough.
Elias, Jeeves, what say you?
Yes, let's be off to the appointed meeting place.
Yep.
Okay. So you exit the west gate of Lucky and continue down the Old Svalis Road. After a while, where the path is, densely covered by trees on either side, you see the witch step out of the darkness of the forest for a moment, just long enough for you to see that she's back there somewhere. You've kept me waiting.
Yes, we have quite a few strings in town. Now, what would you have us do?
You wish to purify the old site.
Yes.
There are more than one. Let's see what you can do with this one first. Jack, you notice that she adorns herself with the bones of ravens. Skulls, mostly.
I think Jack stayed behind.
No, he came with us.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yes, he just said he made plans to be at the festival.
Okay.
Wait, he stayed behind?
I didn't say that. When is the festival happening?
Today.
Before we meet with the witch?
No, you guys left.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's all get on the same page. Before the witch meeting, so we're back in time, right at the Blue Water Inn, and you're discussing on whether you should wait and attend the festival or go and meet the witch.
Well, how much time is between now and the festival?
Yeah.
You would assume the festival would be around when everyone eats around noon.
That would have to be fairly soon, I would think.
Yes.
I would think so too.
I thought it was going to be later in the day anyways.
You think that the original plan was to have it around noon, but it kind of depends on talking to the guards, finding out who the most criminal of the people on the list are, and
yeah. Well, the original plan was to do it. The original plan was to do it, and then we had to go to the winery, and that pushed it some up. And I think after we got back, this would push it up even more because he has to find a different witch. So it's been already kind of a day so far. Like, I think he was supposed to do it around noon originally, before we even went to the winery and defeated the tree and got the pine cone and all.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's conflicting. If you want to go meet the witch, you'd have to either make her wait quite a while or to see this out, or skip it and go see her.
Yeah, she's already been waiting.
Is this an intelligence check, save, or a wisdom something?
For what? What are you trying to discern?
I think it's smarter to meet the witch, but Jack doesn't necessarily.
Well, not all of us have to meet the witch, but and not all of us have to, like, well, we don't know exactly how much farther it is for the festival to happen, though, still. Well, how long it's going to take to purify the one site, too?
Wow.
Not very smart.
Jack Sharp.
Jack looks really angry and goes to deal with the festival.
All right. It looks like Jack's set on going to the festival, guys. Well, what are the rest of you doing?
Is he going to be able to ascertain who is going to be the appointed witch soon?
Alexandra wants nothing to do with watching anybody burn alive, having dealt with it herself, so she's not staying around. Honored guest or not.
Well, the idea is to stop that from being a problem. If we stay in the town.
She doesn't care.
She cares, but she doesn't care.
The town can burn for all she cares, but she's not going to watch them burn someone.
Exactly.
Okay.
And she honestly cares a great deal more about accomplishing what they came here to do rather than some random stranger that just happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Right. So, the problem with this is, like, how disappointed do we think the Baron would be if not all of us were at the festival? Would he be able to move on? Can we deal with that?
Before he leaves, Jack will tell you which route are you taking. I will try and meet you.
We're heading to Svalatro.
Out of the West Gate.
Okay. I will try and catch you up.
For the purification rite, I'm the only one that has to go. The rest of you can stay in town for the festival and try to resolve what you can, and Alexandra will go with me, I'm sure. And Jeeves, it's up to you what you want to do.
Jeeves, I would recommend you stay in my stead.
Yeah, that's probably wise. I was going to say.
All right, then we'll do that, Mike. Did you get all that?
So, Jeeves and Jack are staying, and Alexandra and Elias are leaving?
Nope.
Yeah.
Actually, at this point, Jack was just going to tell them, Burgomaster, that they had word of something, and they had to hurry to try and save the town again, and they weren't going to be there. Then he was going to use his special means to catch up to them. By which I mean 50-foot movement as the crow flies.
Okay, best of luck and best wishes, Jack, of trying to resolve this problem.
Foot?
Ravens fly at 50 feet.
Oh, nice. Dang, that's quick. Okay. Yeah, that's going to mess up some DM plans later, but that's okay.
Damn.
You guys start heading, I will catch you up on the main road. Literally, all Jack is going to do is go and find the Burgomaster and tell him that he has to go, that they cannot make the festival.
Okay.
Good luck with your persuasion and lying.
It's not a lie.
Might have to cover up a reason why, though. Pretty sure he's not going to accept, oh, we're going to meet the witch that we just released from your house, pretty much. Anyway.
Actually, no, I don't even need to do that. All Jack is going to do is find the nearest guard and tell him to pass the message.
The Baron's going to be even more insulted if the news isn't delivered personally, but okay.
At this point, I don't care.
Okay, so Jack, you find a guard. What do you tell him?
Do you know who I am?
Everyone in this town knows who you are.
Pass word to the Baron that we've discovered some plot that we have to deal with. We can't make the festival because we are saving his town. Again.
I'll get right to it.
Thank you. Tell him I am very sorry, and I will see him as soon as I can.
He gives a deep bow and runs off.
Join the group.
Okay, so all the groups together?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Alright. Svalich Road, dark woods. She walks out, been keeping me waiting. Now what?
Apologies, madam. We had some last-minute business in town we had to attend to before you let them rip each other apart.
Yes, it should be soon when the smoke starts to rise from the town. Be a sight I will not want to miss.
Shall we head to the site to purify it right away, then?
I will stay here, but I will allow you passage through my domain to reach where you intend to get to. You will pass a swamp. There you will see an old town in ruins. Somewhere in that town is a large tree stump with my home built on it. Do not disturb any scarecrows. Do not disturb my home. Continue past and you will find what you look for where it's marked on the map. I've already sent word. You shall be safe as long as you follow these rules. No scarecrows. Leave my house alone. You will be fine.
And the druids that haunt the woods? Surely they're looking for us as well.
The druids are too far away from that bit of the swamp. They live in the woods, closer to the hill.
Jack writes down the rules.
It's really easy. Don't break in her house. Don't touch a scarecrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't mind, I have some interesting bits of fun to watch.
Thank you for listening and changing your mind, madam.
If you can purify that site, I will see you again, and I will show you perhaps more that you can do to rid this land of the curse of Strahd.
Nice name drop.
All right. So, well, can we continue on our way and go down the path some?
Yes, you will not be harmed.
I'm asking you, Mike.
Oh, yes, you can.
All right. So as far as once we're out of sight and earshot of the witch, Elias will suggest that some of them still go back to the town to keep an eye on it and make sure something terrible doesn't break out while they're away. What do you guys think?
I care not for what happens to Balaki.
I know you don't. What about the other two?
I think cleansing is more important.
Because it doesn't sound that I'll be falling much trouble here in my journey down, so I don't know if I need 3 of you here with me. I would just hate for something awful to befall the town that we have no say or help in.
Are you so quick to trust the word of a witch, Elias? Do you really think we can trust her at her word that we'll be unharmed, that nothing will attack us? I'd rather us all stay together if it's all the same.
Well, you know me. I care more for the needs of the many than the few, including myself. So, if I'm harmed, so be it. But there are a lot of innocent people in the town. Well, I'll say this much. If we start to see smoke rise from the town in the distance as we look behind us, then at least one of us should go to help.
You're fairly certain you're going to see smoke rise. Well, at least even if a witch didn't get burned, the burning sun itself of Wicker will. It's huge. It's going to cause a bit of smoke.
Okay, so there's no way to know anything bad is going on unless we hear screams and more fire.
Alex knows.
You're sure the Baron's at least going to have one person screaming.
Hopefully it takes him a little while to figure out who he can do it to.
Yeah, you think that might have given you a bit of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Milov's not exactly the brightest boy.
think Milov's employ will happen probably after today.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
not.
damn.
He's more going to keep an eye on everybody else on the list and report to the Baron on if they're plotting against him.
Okay, so we're going to move on ahead, and Elias is just feeling really bad about all the situations, that they're helping a witch, that they're leaving the town in a questionable situation. But he thinks this is what they should do right now, since it's apparently a step in dealing with Strahd.
We're helping a witch, but we're thwarting Strahd.
Okay.
After we made a deal with him.
I don't like that creepy little DM giggle.
I'm not even playing poker, and you can't even see my face. My laugh gives it all away. All right, so the group as a whole is going to continue towards the swamp that she talked about.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you get to the Luna River crossroads, where there is a bridge at an intersection, and this is the snapped signpost that you had repaired earlier. Let's see here. All right, you find a corpse here.
So examine it. Can we tell if it belongs to anyone that we would be able to identify?
It is a wolf corpse. Looks like someone had killed a wolf.
Okay. Well, we'll just leave it alone then.
Okay. Continuing on. You start heading south. It's about here. Although the fog is very thick, you see up to your right. I'll describe it. 1 second. High above the river valley juts a quite promontory on which looms a specular mansion. Its turrets capped with fairy tale cones, its towers lined with sculpted battlements. A third of the structure has collapsed as part of the roof, but the rest appears intact. A dark octagonal tower rises above the surrounding architecture. But it looks like it would be too steep a climb for someone to investigate at this moment. You think that if following the directions on your map, there would be an easier way to get to this through the woods.
Is that our destination?
No. The swamp that the witch was referring to is on down a bit, and then beyond that, the spot that was marked with a hole. You see the dots, the red trail dots down to and stops at what appears to be some buildings drawn on the map. And then just beyond that, you think that you'll find wherever the marked place on the map is. So do you want to continue on?
Yes.
Alright, so you leave the turreted castle behind you, and eventually you arrive at what appears to be the ruins of some old riverside village. And I will describe that to you. You hug the trail for several miles, and dirt and grass soon turn to marsh as the trail dissolves into spongy earth, pockmarked with strands of tall reeds and pools of stagnant water. A thick shroud of fog covers all. Scattered throughout the marsh are old peasant cottages, their walls covered with black mildew, their roofs mostly caved in. These decrepit dwellings seem to hunker down in the mire, as though they have long since given up on escaping the thick mud. Everywhere you look, black clouds of flies dart about, hungry for blood. The fog is much thinner on the far side of the river, where a light flashes amid a dark ring of standing stones. And I do have a map for this area as well.
I wonder if this could be the ruins that Isaac was telling me about.
It does spark a bit of memory. Sounds like that may have been the old village that Isaac had once mentioned. Well, I can't remember exactly what. I don't want to reveal too much. Do you remember what Isaac said about it?
I do. He mentioned that the town was destroyed by Strahd because the burgomaster had offended him.
Yep, so you guys are up here in the very top right corner.
What do you suppose that light is in the distance? I can't quite make it out. Can we perception that or try to figure it out, Mike?
Sure. There's a in this direction across the river where I've placed the marker. That is where you see some standing stones. But you saw a light flashing there.
Yeah, but we can't tell what the light is or where it's coming from.
Yeah, you can tell it's around the standing stones, but the fog is so thick from where you're at, you can't really discern anything else.
Okay, well, let's keep moving south then.
How wide is the river?
Let's see. A square is 100 feet, so it's about 300, 400 feet across.
Yeah, we're not getting anywhere near there right now. Should we continue on then, gentlemen?
Yeah, let's keep moving.
Okay. So as you go further in, the fog is really thick. You start to see the scarecrows that she mentioned. You see, as you approach this cluster of ruined cottages separated by lone stone walls, you see a short stretch of dirt road has remained intact. So at this point, you can either take the northern part of that road or the southern part.
Well, our destination is south, so I suppose we should head and keep on going that way.
Alright. As you pass, you notice more of these scarecrows put up on spikes. They aren't animated or anything, but they do appear to be stuffed with raven feathers. It's at this point that you clearly see out of the fog towards the center of the town, where you see that kind of tree trunk looking spot on the map. Someone has built a ramshackle wooden hut on the stump of what was once an enormous tree. The rotting roots of the stump thrust up from the mire like legs of a giant spider. An open doorway is visible on one side of the hut, beneath which is a giant, hollowed-out skull of a giant. I said giant twice, but that's what it is. So there's a giant skull on the outside of this. Flanking the hut's doorway are two iron cages that dangle like hideous ornaments from the eaves. Scores of ravens are trapped in each one. They squawk and flutter their wings excitedly as you approach.
This must be the witch's domain she told us of.
I would think so. As much as I would hate to leave the birds trapped there in those cages like that, she warned us not to touch anything.
I would leave that up to you, whether you want to trust the witch's warnings or free the ravens. I have no preference myself.
I thought she said we couldn't go into the house.
We could freeze them on the way back.
Jack calls out. Jack calls out to the ravens, would you take it as a kindness if we released you?
They begin squawking excitedly, but then all of a sudden, instantly, they all shut up. And you see the doorway darken for a moment.
I see.
Coming out of the doorway and crawling into the skull is a naked woman with red hair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. So,
Anyone want to argue with me on this one?
She gets on top of the skull and it detaches from the house. It begins kind of flying at you, up in the air. Towards you is coming some demonic-looking woman on a giant skull. What would you like to do?
Oh god, do we have to roll for initiative?
as this is happening, Elias has a couple of flashbacks. He sees what he's always seen in his mind when he has his nightmares, but he recognizes the basic figure of the skull as something that he had blocked out from his mind and didn't want to believe that he had seen and thought existed. But he falls to his knees and stares at the ground and recalls the basic presence of this thing being there when the witch trials were going on where he was from and where he first rescued Cypher.
Alex places her hand on his shoulder and calls out to the one approaching. Are you in league with the witch?
She says, Papa Lysagas said that I should be expecting visitors. You're to behave yourselves now. I have a witch burning to attend to.
No! You will not do this again!
Elias.
Oh, and who are you to stop me?
You're from outside the mist. You've burned hundreds, if not thousands of innocent people. I've seen what you've done. I managed to rescue one. I will not let this happen again.
Oh.
But as he's saying this, Elias is quivering and he's not moving forward at all.
All right. She says, "Oh, you must be from around the same area as I have been. Tell me, what country are you from?"
Elias thinks for a second what he wants to say, but
Wallachia.
yes.
Holy Roman Empire.
Well, Elias is originally from somewhere else, but he's going to say Wallachia, yes.
Well, it's nice to find some locals here in this far away and strange land that we seem to be trapped in. I hope you're making the most of your visit.
And what do you here?
I'm just here for a bit of fun. Now, if you excuse me, I must attend a good few burnings of witches today.
If you consider them witches, then they most definitely are innocent women.
Is anyone ever really innocent?
There's going to be trouble in that town. I know there is. If you're there, please make sure that they don't harm any of the children that we rescued recently.
You
You're asking
bore
her.
me. I must be off. There are more interesting things to see. Toodaloo. She begins to fly off.
Do what you will with Milwaukee. I couldn't care less. Just leave the children alone. Alex mutters under her breath as she turns back to Elias and helps him to his feet.
Which he allows her to do, but he still stands there.
There's nothing to be done for it, Elias.
She may be behind everything in my past, including my father and his mentor, everyone before him that had the same fate.
Then we will deal with her accordingly when the time is right. Now is not the time.
Interestingly enough, Jack is seething and holding his tongue. He's looking at Elias and looking back to Carmilla.
Yes, Carmilla's already speeding off into the distance.
Jack, could you tell anything about her, the powers that she has? How strong is she?
Stronger than we are, most likely. Those varieties of demons are not weak. We need to settle with her. I don't believe today is the most tactical advantage for us. He's saying this through gritted teeth. Like it was a fight for him to not... It's a fight for him to not break into Raven form and go after them. But...
Yes, and I fear that her powers might not be just in magic and physical strength alone, but also to turn the hearts of men to do as she pleases, because that is what
Did you
happens.
not pay attention to the last one?
The last one?
The blonde who helped us kill the Lady Walker.
Oh, I mean much more than that. I mean more than on an individual level. I saw her turn entire groups of crusaders against their towns and turn in false witches to be burned. She apparently has some matter of persuasion far beyond the one-on-one interactions that our friend Lilith had.
You don't know Lilith.
No, I don't. Hopefully I won't learn Lilith very well. But,
Oh, but she wants to know you.
Oh, God. But,
No, he's a crusader. Jack would like to know Lilith.
yeah. But as you
He
all
may
say,
yet still.
I wonder. We do need to defeat Strahd eventually, but isn't this more important right now?
If it were not, many things would be different right now. As it stands, we need to focus on what we're doing.
Hopefully what we're doing is actually meaningful and not a trap set by witches as well. I just don't feel as convicted to do something that might not lead to anything as opposed to facing what we just saw.
How can purifying an area of this land help Strahd?
Yeah, I don't know that's what the witch is really sending us here for. There might be a land to be purified, but there's also a lady living in a skull that's flying off to a town. Somebody roll persuasion on Elias. Or all of you.
Jack tries, but his heart's not in it.
Damn it. Okay, Jeeves, to the rescue!
Jeeves has got it.
I don't talk often, but when I do, I'm persuasive.
All right. Well, what would you like to tell him, Jeeves?
Gotta make it good.
We're not going to accomplish anything in this land if we run around getting sidetracked by every little thing.
Right.
Little thing?
We have to go cleanse. Let's go cleanse.
Cleansing this is a good idea this time. That being said, let's focus on cleansing this place. I wish to be back to the ruins of Vallaki to see what still stands as soon as possible.
I'll trust you, Jack. And thank you, Jeeves, for your words. All right.
Okay. Well, before you stands a decrepit mansion, and that would be this area. And then also there's a churchyard.
Start with the church.
Okay. The party approaches the churchyard. Through the fog, you see an empty shell, an old stone church, north of which is a cemetery of leaning gravestones enclosed by a disintegrating iron fence. Half of the cemetery is sunk into the mire. Would you like to investigate further, or move to something else?
Perception check. Which I failed.
Are you perceiving in the churchyard, or are you going inside the church?
Looking around the churchyard.
Okay. You find rotted coffins and moldy bones buried in the graveyard.
Fun.
What about you, Jeeves? Where are you looking?
I am just looking around. Make sure there's no scarecrows or other hazards.
Well, you do see scarecrows, but they don't appear to be attacking. Jack, where were you looking?
They're not going to be available until after Sunday.
Apparently, after my shoes.
Okay, what's everyone doing?
Let's move on to the church, I guess.
Yep.
Okay, the small little church there. This gutted church, all it has is the remains of a pulpit and an old iron bell half immersed in the marsh. It's lying amid the remains of a collapsed steeple.
Is this the place that was marked on the map? As far as we can tell, this is the site.
No, it's a bit further on. You'll have to go farther down the river.
Oh, let's head there then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
let's keep going.
All right. So the mansion, you are not going to check that out. Just going to keep going down the river.
Mansion? You mean farther back up?
There was
the
this
river?
spot
In
here
the town.
that was next to the church. You also see some kind of monument here.
What kind of monument?
It's hard to see unless you get closer. It's very foggy. It's just some statue.
Oh.
Okay, so moving down the river. Mansion, monument.
Let's check out the monument
All right.
just before we move on.
All right, hold on a second.
Oh lord, there's gonna be things that attack us.
Yeah, hidden by fog and elevated a few feet above the surrounding marsh is a raised plot of land, barely 10 feet on a side, enclosed by a disintegrating iron fence. In the center of this plot is a life-sized stone monument carved of the likeness of a kneeling peasant girl, clutching a rose. Her features are gray and weather-worn.
Elias his mind has been spinning the entire time that ever since they saw the woman in the skull, and as he was faced with her in the moments afterwards, he was thinking about his fortune that was told him by the old woman at the camp, and he recalls something specifically about the figure in front of him that matches the description of something that was in his fortune, and he'll present it to the party and read it to them. Just a second here. Madame Eva revealed the artifact card to me, and what she said was, "This is a card of duty beyond faith. I see a kneeling woman, a rose of great beauty plucked too soon. The master of the marsh knows of whom I speak. this must be the same girl. And the Master of the Marsh is who we just met, I'm afraid. But what does this mean?
Perhaps much to your distaste, we do need to speak to this woman further.
You say that again, April?
I said, perhaps much to your distaste, Elias, we must speak with this woman further.
So the card was about duty beyond faith, and here is the woman, but I do not yet know what I am to do with her.
Don't mistake me. I don't mean to make light of your past with this woman, and we will deal with her accordingly when the time is right. That I swear to you.
It's one way or another, either she is going to perish or I am. I'm certain of that.
It won't be you, my friend.
Alright, well, let me mark on the on our map this spot so I can come back to this if I need to. So Elias makes a note of where they're at right now.
Okay.
Shall we head on, then?
Alright. Can Elias use perception in the area or on the statue, Mike, to see if we figure anything else about it?
Sure.
Okay.
In the area or on the statue specifically? You tell me which.
Looks like it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Well, I rolled a 2, so...
I look around. Alex will look around, too, to help him.
How are you looking around? What are you doing?
I was
Moving
looking
around it without touching anything.
I was looking at the statue specifically, and Alexander's looking around it.
Okay. Are you touching anything? She said that she was not.
I'll touch it, yes.
Okay. As soon as you touch it, the croaking of frogs and chirping crickets fall silent, and the stench of decay grows strong. You hear the trudge of heavy footsteps through the mud and water as bloated gray shapes shamble out of the fog.
Oh, Lord.
What?
They look like 7 distended human corpses have risen from the mire west of the monument. They are about 60 feet away when you first see them.
How slowly are they moving? Can we outrun them?
Yeah, it looks like you could easily outrun them. They're trudging along at about 20 feet, and it doesn't look like they could move any faster than that.
Let's do that then. Let's go where we're headed. Damn it, Elias, stop touching things!
That's not in my nature, but I felt drawn to this thing from the old lady's words. I'm reluctant to even leave because I'm curious what this has to do with me.
I understand your reluctance, but the witch warned us not to touch anything. We can come back to it and discuss with Carmilla later.
Over tea, perhaps.
Or blood pouring from her throat.
Okay, well, I'm not looking forward to engaging these whatever they are anyway.
You remember how to run, old man, don't you? She turns to Jeeves and smirks.
Try and keep up.
I could just turn them if they become a problem.
It's up to you. If you want to stand and fight, I will fight.
Mike, can I look at them and can I see anything other than they're just gray?
They look like they're bloated, old corpses, walking corpses, some sort of undead.
Some sort of undead.
You would think that these are the drowned and decaying villagers of the denizens that once lived here, maybe?
That would make sense. And they took some offense to me touching this monument.
It's not the home or the scarecrows, though, right?
The scarecrows are still not moving, but you can't really see them through the fog at this point. So that's a freebie from the DM.
The point is that this shouldn't fall under the stuff Baba the Saga told us not to touch.
Right. You don't think that you've messed with her home.
Let's kill these bitches.
Okay. Do you want to wait until they get to you, or do you want to go to them?
How far away are they?
About 60 feet.
Jack's looking at the people around him. Kill them?
Well, Jack, I feel some sympathy for them because I take it that this monument is perhaps built in remembrance of these people that perished. She was a rose plucked too soon, perhaps a young village girl that perished, and perhaps they're guarding the memory of her and attacking us. So I almost feel bad taking them out, but souls do need to rest.
At this point, they're 30 feet away.
Yes.
We're on The Walking Dead, apparently.
Let us give them peace. It is all we can do.
All right, roll initiative.
Wow.
Okay.
I beat you with a 3. Yeah.
Shut it, I got a 5.
Oh. Wow.
All right. Let's see. How do I want to... Do I want to use this battle map? Yeah, you know what? We'll just, we'll use this battle map, and we'll treat the squares as 5-foot squares, and we'll just zoom up to a different spot. How are we doing on time, guys? We have...
It's 11:30.
I'm good.
So, 30 more minutes is fine.
All right. Next week should be pretty damn fun, I believe. Will everyone be able to make it?
Always.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
All right, good deal. Because if you're to say no, then we would just have to have a really long night tonight.
We could do that.
No. If we can get everyone here next week, I would much rather do that.
Damn it.
Okay, you guys can kind of position yourselves there as you want.
I have nothing open.
We're pretty big on this map.
Let's just imagine that they're a different size than they really are. I mean, the squares are 5-foot squares for the moment.
Oh my gosh.
All right, I'm going to share this again so Jack can hopefully see it.
There we go.
They're 5 feet away from us already?
No, I'm just trying to get everybody placed.
Okay.
Well, considering how long we've been debating whether or not we want to fight them, I'm not surprised they reached us.
Let's see.
We forgot we weren't on The Walking Dead for a few minutes.
I think we have more room down kind of at the bottom of the map. I'm just going to move us down there. Because they're 40 feet away, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 34. About here. Terrain and stuff doesn't matter. We just need squares. Alright. So first up, in initiative order, is Jack.
Me first.
Yes.
Yay! What is Jack going to do, I wonder? How fast can they move, does it look like?
About 20 feet.
It's okay. Start off simple, just...
Wait, Erwin's with us?
No, sorry.
Okay.
Cast this on 4 and 5.
Alright, it's failed its save. Acid Splash. I'll need another save because it's on 2 of them. What kind of save is that, by the way?
Dex 15.
Dex, okay. Alright, both of them have failed. Alright, one of them instantly dies, and the other one instantly dies.
Jack snaps his fingers, points, and says something in Latin.
Alright.
Right now, just pretend it's Avada Kedavra.
The bodies split open, and swarms of poisonous snakes begin to
Oh, jeez.
spill out
Oh
from
lord.
Swarms.
I knew it couldn't be that easy.
Uh-huh. Yep. This is gonna be fun, guys.
Of course it couldn't be that easy.
Anything else, Jack?
Curse loudly.
Shall we run now, gentlemen? Before Jeeves decides to take a bath in the swarm.
We could do a fighting retreat. We move quicker than they do.
That's a fair idea.
They move slow, but what about the snakes?
You're a human being. If you can't outrun a snake, I feel bad for you.
The snakes look like they move a lot faster. Maybe not as fast as, or maybe just as fast as you.
Well, at least we'll only have to deal with the snakes if they catch us.
Exactly.
So that
Tactical
wasn't some-
retreat.
So that wasn't some fancy polymorph snake magic there, Jack?
Wow. Tactical retreat then, gentlemen.
I guess so.
Okay.
Yes.
So, where are you guys retreating to?
The
Running
south.
further south.
South.
So, are you going to follow the river, or what?
Towards our initial destination, yes.
Okay, so you are fleeing combat. I would like Constitution saves from everyone.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Just to make sure you can keep a good pace without falling down in the mire or anything like that.
Yeah, the footing
I'm
is
good.
I'm not good.
Elias is not good.
Oh, crap.
He's not good either.
Yes, Elias and Jeeves are having a tough time in the marsh. Their feet get stuck.
Can Alex and Jack assist them?
Not before the snakes reach them.
Oh.
All
God
right.
damn it, old man.
So one swarm of snakes is going to engulf Elias.
Golf.
Oh my god.
But he manages to evade them. And then Mr. Jeeves, let's see if he can do the same.
Poor Jeeves. What is with you in swarms of things?
You're gonna stick to me, I know it.
Okay, make a Constitution saving throw.
See?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Excellent. You were bit by a snake, but you don't think that its venom was pumped into your veins. It's at this point where you think that you can continue to run or you can stand and fight. What would you like to do?
Well,
Let's
how
run.
far away are the corpses at this point?
The corpses are a bit farther back now. Only the snakes seem to be keeping pace with you.
Jeeves, are you all right? Do you want to continue on or fight these things?
I'm good so far. Let's go.
Okay, Constitution saves from Mr. Jeeves and Elias again.
All right.
That's better.
Much better.
Yes. Okay. It's a few moments. You put the sound of the sloshing corpses and all of the snakes behind you. You think that you're no longer threatened by them unless they somehow find you. All right. Roll wisdom checks.
Oh,
Survival checks would also apply. I'm not familiar with all the terminology of all our great checks, but I'll take a quick look.
Wow.
Survival is wisdom, so that makes sense.
Ooh, a natural 20.
Damn.
Okay, Jeeves pointed out that after your retreat, you think that you strayed off of the intended path, but you check the map and right yourself towards where the hole in the map was poked by the witch.
Thank you, Jeeves.
good. Yep, that way.
I didn't think you were such the ranger, Jeeves, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
I think Jeeves is old enough that he's such the most things.
Exactly.
All right. You perceive the intended destination must be this old structure. It looks like it may have been once some kind of holy temple, but it looks very ancient and run down. There is a doorway that you think that you can try and see if it's locked or not. Stained glass window above it, the weak bit of daylight passing through it.
Elias will attempt to open the church temple door.
All right. As you open the door, it seems to be unlocked, although it took a bit of strength to push it through. It was no problem for Elias. Yes, the sunlight glows through the stained glass above you into this weakly lit long hallway. This room looks like it's connected to many other rooms, so far in the distance you can't even really see the end. It's dank. It looks like these ruins have been lost to time.
There's a bit of an understated beauty to the area, it sounds like.
Yes, would everyone like to go in?
Yep.
Yes.
So Elias will go further in down the hallway and attempt to find the altar or pulpit.
Yeah, you don't see any. There appears to be a large hole in front of you that spans the entire width of this room. And that's where we'll stop for tonight, as some red eyes glow in the distance behind you in the mist.
Oh boy.
Bummer.
Okay, you guys will not want to miss next week. It's going to probably be my favorite encounter for this entire game as far as I'm concerned.
Wow.
Damn it.
You know, and we haven't rested up. Like, I don't have any spells. So.
Yeah, I have no hit dice left. And I have 17 wound points. And
Oh,
I've already
sorry.
burned 2 of my superiority dice. So we're not in good shape right now
I
for a
didn't think
big
you were going to fight
encounter.
anything, yeah.
Yeah, I am super excited for next week. It's going to be awesome.
I didn't think you were going to spring
pair-
from ill on us already.
A pair
I
of
didn't.
red eyes
You saw
long
her,
in the
though.
distance.
Well, I very nearly could have fought her, but, you know.
Jack and Alex wouldn't let him. It's a suicide mission right now.
Yeah.
Jack would have joined in with him.
Yes, many trapped ravens basically begging for help.
Jack is almost convinced they're actually all were-raven.
They did seem a little bit more intelligent, squawking for help.
I should have had Alex do a perception check, make sure Malthus wasn't among them.
No, we can check on the way back.
All right, Castlevania fans, next week you will you'll enjoy it.
It's
Hopefully-
Drac, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Hopefully the party enjoys it.
I think as I think you're all in for a real treat as players.
Oh,
What
God.
about Five Nights at Freddy's haters?
The DM
sure.
says it's a real treat. A pair of glowing red eyes in the darkness. Yes.
And a giant
That's-
hole in the middle of the floor.
Yeah. That's a real treat.
Look, I see a humanoid animal construct. Jack's going in. Just say it. He's gonna get ripping it apart with his bare hands, no matter how poorly that might end.
Alex is fatigued and injured. She's not going to have a good time with us.
And I can't heal us any if we get hurt. So that's... Rip.
Yeah, you guys sound like you're screwed.
We're screwed. We are
So what
royally
you're saying
screwed.
is it's up to Jack.
What I'm saying is, pray to the RN Jesus.
Oh, God.
RNG, I saw that in the shout box.
Yeah.
Pray to RNG is random number generator, so up to
Yep.
chance. Pray to chance. It'll work out. No.
Yeah,
The dice gods.
That's a speedrunning term, is pray to RNG Jesus.
Yeah. But all of your decisions next week are very technical, and you can survive. It's not an automatic
Thanks.
loss. But I'm just saying that your decisions might not seem like they matter, but they really, really do. What you do with each one of your turns is going to be interesting.
Wow.
Damn it. I want to keep playing.
So we saw, was it one pair of red eyes or multiple?
Just one pair. You didn't see them. You had no idea. That was the DM giving a cliffhanger.
Okay. Thanks, DM.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Damn cliffhanger. Whew.
Okay, well that was fun.
Sounds like I might need to create a new character for next week just in case.
It's always wise to have a
Poor
backup.
Jeeves.
I have a backup.
Let's see.
I see.
All right. Well, until next week. We'll see you next time.
Damn it.